Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today as we begin to talk about conversions. Starting with some basic abbreviations that you need to become familiar with. These abbreviations are used quite commonly in the dosing of medication: microgram, milligram, gram, kilogram, grain, milliliter, and liter. So let's get acquainted with some of the equivalents that we'll be using quite frequently during medication administration. Learning these equivalents will help in the conversion method, whichever method you choose, and will also make dosage a little bit easier to understand. So just become familiar with these, learn them. You're going to use them the rest of your nursing career, but by all means, learn them. So in talking about conversions, you need to decide if you are converting from a large unit to a smaller unit or from a smaller unit to a larger unit. Once you determine that, the conversions are much easier. So let's start with converting large to small. Doing this, you're going to multiply by 1,000. And this example shows milligrams converted to micrograms. Here we're going to multiply by 1,000 in order to get the microgram dosage required. Small to large is just the opposite. Here we divide by 1,000. For example, 750 milligrams is how many grams? Divide that by 1,000 and you get 0.75 grams. I prefer taking a non-mathematical approach to conversion. I actually just move the decimal place 3 places to the left or 3 places to the right, depending on if I'm going from large to small or small to large. I actually write this down on my paper at the beginning of my test when they say start your test, and I just know that if I'm going from large to small, that I'm going to move that decimal place 3 spaces to the right. If I am going from small to large, I know that I'm going to move the decimal place 3 spaces to the left. So there's no math involved in using this technique, and I prefer this over calculation any day. Pounds to kilograms. So here most medications are based on the weight of the client. If your patient weighs 175 pounds, you have to divide your pounds by 2.2 in order to get your kilograms. If you're doing a child's weight, for instance, 7.5 pounds, convert the 5 ounces into pounds. You have 7.31 pounds. Divide that by 2.2, and that will give you your kilograms. So adults to the 10th and children to the 100th when it comes to weights. Milligrams to grains. Here we're going to multiply by 60. Make sure that you convert that 1/50th of a grain into a whole number before you do your conversion. So you're going to multiply the whole number by 60 to get your milligrams. Multiply by milligrams when you're talking milligrams to grains. So if we're going the opposite direction, you're going grains to milligrams. Here we divide by 60. An example of that would be 60 milligrams divided by 60 is going to equal 1 grain. So grains to milligram, divide by 60. Your rounding rules. Dosage that are less than 1 you round that to the nearest hundredth. Dosages that are greater than 1 to the nearest tenth. Always read the problem and the question completely all the way through and follow those instructions. If there are no specific instructions, you must follow the rounding rules. You can find these in your ATI book, Chapter 3. There are also some rounding rules on Blackboard under lessons that you can download and print.